Hello and welcome. Andy here from Twisted Narrative, and once again we are continuing with Shadowdark Times Undreamed of, and episode 11 tonight. First and foremost, let's introduce, as we always do, our wonderful players, have a little bit of conversation with them, and then we will delve straight into it. We left it at a very interesting moment last session. So, starting off with Natasha, as always. Hello, Natasha.
Hello, Andy.
If you haven't watched the other 10 videos, you can do, and you find out who Natasha is. But we do have an icebreaker question, of course. Some of you might have second guessed this already. But tonight we're going to start the game at a very special meal. So, the icebreaker question tonight is quite simply, what is your favourite meal or food?
Snert?
Sorry, did you sneeze?
No, it's the Dutch word for pea soup,
Pea
but in the
soup.
Dutch way. So it's got like lots of meat in it, and it used to be a poor people soup. It's not like an appetizer soup. It's like a whole meal. And actually, if you leave it to cool, it turns into concrete. Literally, it's just like a block of stone.
Very nice. I mean, I'm partial to peas, my favourite vegetable. Um, mm, uh, Sounds like I will have to try some of that. What did you call it again?
In Dutch, it's called snert.
Snert. Did I
No,
get that?
snert. We pronounce the E differently.
So snet.
Snert.
Yeah.
Snert.
Yeah, that's not bad for me. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And
Dutch pea soup.
I will post the recipe for it will feed about 5 to 6
Yeah.
people or something.
Dave,
I will post it after the game.
Dave does a Facebook video occasionally of cooking with Dave, and they are very worth watching if you ever get a chance to do it. I love them. So we might as well move down to you, Dave. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good to be here. I think you probably know what my favourite food is. It's fish and chips.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, you can keep the chips, to be honest, but a bit of fried cod or haddock, I would kill for at any time.
lovely.
But it's there's just the simplicity of it.
And is it kind of like from a good chip shop, or is it? Do you
I
know in your mind where it comes from?
Yes, I do, because I think it's got to be a proper. Yeah, I spend my time trying to find good fish and chip shops.
Yeah,
and to be honest, Yorkshire. You kind of have to go home for proper fish and chips and cooked in beef dripping.
I mean, we know that Yorkshire is considered God's own country, or county rather, although Yorkshire people probably think it's a country. But I mean, that's another argument. I spent a lot of time up in.
Not an argument.
I spent a lot of time up in Leeds, and I love the place. Absolutely.
I did my degree in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Did you? Whereabouts?
Scarborough.
Scarborough? That's lovely.
Yeah. 3 years in Scarborough.
What a wonderful place to do a degree. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. It was as much the place as the location and kind of the beach and everything as the university itself that sold me on it. So
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, 3 years. That was
Please,
great.
just talk amongst yourselves. I've lost all sort of.
Sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry. I will make you sorry in a little while.
Leave that.
So we've heard enough from you, Matt, already. So we'll just.
That's very fair.
No,
Fine.
Matt,
Yeah.
please.
No, whatever.
Please, Matt, introduce yourself and tell us what your favourite meal or food is.
Hello, I'm Matt. I am excited to be here this evening as well. My favourite food is ramen, I think.
Ooh, good choice.
Just because it's one of those things in the last couple of years I've got into the habit of sort of making my own type of or style of ramen, and it's just become a nice comfort food and relatively cost effective, relatively easy, but also just filling, warming, and we feel good after eating it. So
Now,
good meal.
I'm a bit of an ignoramus. My kids love it, but what exactly is that?
So the ramen noodles so it's like noodles in broth, and then also in the broth you have vegetables and meat as well.
So kind of like a
Uh,
pot noodle then.
Nothing. Yeah, well, imagine a pot noodle,
Yeah.
but nice
By real
Hey,
cook.
hey,
with
hey,
with
hey.
with actual
Hey.
vegetables and actual meat,
I'm
as opposed to dehydrated stuff.
I'm actually partial to pot noodles, and if anybody from Pot Noodle is watching, and yeah, I endorse the product. Please send me pot noodles.
Fair, fair.
Now, sort of my wife and both my girls love all of that kind of food. Yeah, I suppose I'm from a different age, really. I say that I love my pot noodles, so I probably would really like it. I just don't have. I'm always working. That's the problem. I never get time to sort of go out or do this or make that. Anyway, well, that's the icebreaker. I don't know how many people we've offended tonight, but I think the count is fairly high. I say we, I mean me, through through everything I've done. If you're still with us, we might well play a game of Shadowdark now, because that is what we are here for. So, a very brief recap, very brief indeed. Our adventurous protagonists seeking a set of bones that belong to Saint Loric. They were stolen from his final resting place and carried off by a number of ghoulish creatures to the boneyard, a large pauper's graveyard in the outskirts of Ibaihor. Here they discovered that it wasn't the ghouls themselves that had directly done it, but a faction of ghouls that um, basically were exiles from the ghoulish communities and had been hired by an individual known as Zingili, master of zombies, that makes his lair within the boneyard. Gaining directions, they moved through the various tunnels, this labyrinthine set of warrens, encountering a cave crawler on the way, defeating that and rescuing a barbarian by the name of Gar, who had been here to, in effect, assassinate Zingali, sent, as it was uncovered later, by his sister. You made good progress, and finally you encountered Zingali himself, but he was not quite what you anticipated. A nobleman of westernized culture from the principalities of uh, Innocentia, a country where they only have or worship one god. Webs of intrigue dominate the courts, and poison is the weapon of choice. And he very much welcomed your arrival, and rather than being upset, Gar makes an introduction, basically because you saved his life, and offered to renege on the deal that he had with his sister and return there. And instead of trying to assassinate Zingili, assassinate her instead. And this seemed to be enough, as Zingali then invites you to a meal with his family. His family are his creations, neither truly alive or truly dead. One can only describe them as hideous in the extreme. Zafria, the big mother, Callus and Decius, the twins that are in one body, Lamacia, the snake charmer, whose various holes within what resides of her corpse the snakes weave in and out of, Selvia, who wears many people's faces, sometimes more at the same time, and Thofra, the carver, the brute. They all sit themselves down at the table, and you are offered seats as well. You sit down, and dinner is served as they begin to lift the various lids from all of these pots, and you are instantly assailed by the beautiful smells of finely cooked food and drink, suckling pig, gravies and sauces, honeyed vegetables, roasted roots, both savoury and sweet pies. Please, he says, pouring wine into your crystal glasses. Feast. You do not worry. I know my people are known for poisoning, but if I wanted you dead, you would be by now.
Jasmine sticks her fork in the suckling pig and drags it onto her plate.
I mean, it's a hog. It's going to be
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's more than a fork. You're going to literally have to wrestle this thing onto your plate. He sort of looks and says, well, I see that not all of us have manners.
It's difficult to hear him talking over all the cutting and eating sounds Jasmine is making.
He drinks his wine. I apologize. I should have prepared more. I didn't realize the hunger that would be upon you all.
Sure, you have what is here. It looks and smells fantastic, and I'm sure will be more than enough for us all. And thank you for the dinner. Not quite what we'd expected, I have to say.
And
Yes, thank you. You're very kind.
what did you expect? That I eat the brains of the dead, or?
This is such an unusual place. Compared to that, we are used to this, its location and its type, that I don't think we had any expectations nor thought to make any. We came to see what we might see and to potentially have conversations.
He smiles and says your word as honeyed as the vegetables.
Oh, I need vegetables.
Yes.
And Aaron reached out for the honeyed vegetables.
And there's all sorts here for you to help yourself to. Sweetened to perfection.
Takes a small quantity of, quite a small portion, very polite.
Mm-hmm. They are the finest perhaps you've ever tasted.
Passes, having served, passes the serving dish to others around it. Mm-hmm. Probably to the huge hulking.
You pass it around. They take some, and it seems that they are certainly capable of eating. Unfortunately, as he tries to take it off you, a bit of flesh drops off him into the vegetables.
So I make a little mental note, probably not to eat.
No more from that bowl.
Certainly not done deliberately.
Are these guys rotting? Are they just kind of got loose bits?
There's various loose bits, and if you were to point it out, you're sure that your host would probably apologise that sometimes they require additional work.
I think Aaron would be far too sheepish and embarrassed to point anything out like that at all. Not even.
Mm-hmm. So it gets passed to the twins being one of them, and they laugh. It's a strange child, maybe only 11, and he pulls out part of the flesh and goes, you dropped something. And Zingali says, please, manners at the table. We will sort that out later. So, you have found me. You have come here for reasons. Let us speak. I was tempted to do this after dinner, but with your companion's hunger, I think it is best to do it now. You get the impression he's not best pleased by her manners, but he's being polite about it.
There's nothing I can do. If Drago kicks Jasmine gently under the table, Jasmine's probably going to break his ankle when she kicks him back. So,
Indeed.
okay. I think Drago will have taken food. I've taken food, and just kind of general stuff that looks like it's whole and like it's relatively clear what it is, what it was, if that makes sense. So like roasted vegetables and those sorts of things that don't appear to have stuff that's been mixed into something else is probably not where Drago would be going at this table. Yeah, hopefully would have got some of the honey vegetables before the flesh incident. Stuff like that. So kind of so then he would try and start the conversation. How the hell would he do that? So we have sought you out. We are, for reasons of our own, we are sent with a task to recover some remains that were once kept in a religious site, which we have been led to believe are were brought to the boneyards, and by reason of deduction and the path that we followed, we're given to understand that they will have been brought here by some people who are working for you, or at least allied to or in your employ, or so we would seek, if possible, to bargain with you for the return of the items, particularly the remains of St. Lorick are what we seek.
Oh, indeed. Well, you have come to the right place, for I do have the bones of Saint Lorick. I have use of them.
You have use of them in the sense that you have an intended use, or you've already put them to use?
No,
if I may ask.
You have moved fairly rapidly, I have to say.
Well,
Impressive. Yeah, very impressive.
Jasmine interrupts and says, we also need a spare set, at least a spare skull.
yes, but I think with this, the boneyards themselves might be able to furnish that. If that's not something you are readily able to help us with, I think the important thing and the reason we came to yourselves is the true relics themselves are what we need.
Well, once
So
I am done with them, I will have no use. But that said, there is possibly a downside to me having them returned, for what I do to them could be done again, and I'm not sure I would like that to happen. So I will put my cards on the table. In life, Saint Loric wasn't always a saint, didn't always follow the light. I do not know whether you know this or not, or whether you care, but at an earlier age, he was just Loric, a gutter sniper, thief, but a very capable one. He fell in with a group of ne'er-do-wells, desert nomads, bandits. He raided caravan routes, but during his explorations of the dunes and the rocks that lie beyond the borders of Ibai-Hor, he got lucky. It is said that he uncovered a secret way into a set of ruins that, well, ruins that have been hidden for countless ages. The ruins of Galp-Dir. I want to know the location of the entrance to these ruins, and these bones are going to help me get that.
See.
If we could find that information for you, if we could find you that, if we could find the location, would you trade?
Well, I just wish to know the location, and I wish that no one else does know the location, so it cuts down on any potential competition of investigation of these ruins. You see, hidden within said ruins is, well, an item said to slumber, a secret relic of the days when creatures from beyond the stars ruled this world. And I wish to acquire this relic.
Can I ask if Aaron might know anything about that kind of story, having been...
This is going to be a difficult role, but you could certainly...
Aaron's been brought up as in this horrible cult.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, there's in the library where he found access to books he shouldn't have been having access to.
Yeah, give us an intelligence roll.
I can't see that.
You got a 15 in total. You got +3 to it, and you got the 12 on the dice. 15 is not bad. Yes, you don't know much about it, but he's not talking nonsense. You know that supposedly there is this set of ruins that existed before mortal men came to the oasis that is now Ibai-Hor, and supposedly these ruins were built by not the ancestors of man, but other creatures, maybe from another place. It is mainly written off as a myth or a legend these days, and no one truly believes it exists. So it's a surprise that you're having this conversation. But if it is true, it is truly almost impossible to say what lies amongst those ruins in terms of great treasures of a lost age.
Or what horrors.
Oh, well, there'll be horrors there as well.
This the information you need to glean from this or from these remains. How long a process does it take?
Well, I'll be using Western traditions of hermetic magics, of course, melded with science to tap into the spirit world. I believe the sanctified bones will be a good focus point for me to call back the spirit of Lorik. And, well, the simple answer is it will take as long as it takes for it to tell me what I want it to know. The actual casting is ritualistic, but I'm almost there with the preparations. It depends how easily he can be persuaded to give me the information I desire. Why do you wish these bones? For the same purpose, he says with a very leading question.
These bones are our retrieval of these bones and this skull in particular is part of a bargain we've made, and on behalf of the one we represent and the organization we've come to represent.
There's a lot of missing gaps there. I believe I've been very forthcoming.
Are you aware? I realize you are not native to these lands, but have you heard tell of the organization, the Red Masks?
I have even the Principality's word of the Red Mass 50 years ago had spread.
The Red Masks are reborn and are rising once again. And it is them that we represent, and it is them who we act on behalf of. We are seeking alliances, we are seeking allies, friends, those we might work with at times, or at least gain understanding with. And as part of this, we were asked to retrieve remains of St. Lorik for a potential ally as part of a bond making.
Jasmine stops chewing for a while and says, "It's the bloody sisters of the skull. Skull sisters."
I am aware of a number of the factions above. I don't sully myself with them, but mention of the Red Masks piques my interest. If you are truly reforming the Red Masks and following in the ideals of what they are,
It
then
is the blood descendant of the previous leader of the Red Masks who has reformed the organization, who we have allied ourselves with, have helped, and continue to help.
and you have authority to do deals on her behalf.
To an extent. And certainly if there were more, if it were needed to be a more direct treating, then we would be able to take messages and arrange that if we couldn't make a deal ourselves.
So
But we are here on her behalf.
I propose this, that when I have the location of the secret entrance to this set of ruins, I will return the skull to you. But part of this deal would be in the hiring of some of the agents of the Red Masks to head to the ruin and use their skills to gain egress and locate an item that I seek from it. Everything else is for the Red Mask's taking.
kind of endeavour to catch eyes with my two companions. Sort of looking for my look is attempting to kind of go, well, that sounds like not getting eaten for dinner, so, and not a bad idea. Do you guys waggle eyebrows in any dissenting manner?
Yeah, Jasmine basically goes like out of the mouths of the unintelligent and naive. But probably the bloody sisters are after the bloody damn thing again because they only wanted the bleeping skull.
Well, that's a good point. Do you only need the skull? Do you need all the bones?
No, just the skull for my magics.
Sounds law.
Well, it is the bit that talks.
Drago, Aaron just nods at you. You know.
Meanwhile, the munching and crunching continues at the suckle pig plate.
Oops.
I think we could. I believe that would be an acceptable bargain. My only concern would be the timescales, I suppose, and wanting to gain it. Our hope was to be able to leave this place with the remains in hand, if we could.
Then it shall be. You shall stay here until I am done with it, and then you may leave. That is what you wished for, is it not?
And then Jasmine goes again, apparently eating like a pig from a pig gives her ideas. And she says, what if we retrieve this bleeping artifact and then return the bleeping skull to the bleeping sisters of Skull sisters?
There's a point. Stepping out of roleplay for the moment.
Yeah.
Question potentially for GM and other guys, if your notes are better than mine. Did we have a timescale from the Sisters of the Skulls?
So no, there's no time scale. And just to clarify, law-wise, the Sisters of Skulls collect skulls.
Yeah.
This is another one for their collection. They did say that they wanted to speak with it, but you think they speak to all of the skulls.
Yeah, so we don't. It doesn't feel like that's potentially competition. It's more a case of that's just what they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have that. There is a chance that Lorick could go, by the way, there after this, if you're interested. But the Sister of Skulls are a gang within Ibai-Hor, not an
Yeah, and
adventuring
not.
party, and not a. I mean, it is unlikely they would show interest. They might sell information, for instance, or
Sure. Yeah.
But they come in with the red masks if they're gonna create good
absolutely
relations.
This is a test to see whether you are capable of live up to your name as Red Masks, so that they would join you.
I wonder if the red masks know any adventurers who could go in and find this item from the ruins.
No bleeping idea.
So the only timescale possibly is the friendly priest lady who we sort of duped, because weren't her superiors coming tomorrow or in the next week or something?
I think it's in the next week, so you've got a
Yeah.
small window of
Okay. We got some
opportunity.
time.
But this is your
Okay.
problem, because
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Would you require, if we are to stay here, would you require any assistance?
what do you wish to assist in?
I can. Well, I don't know. I've worked in a library. I can read. I can translate. I can do things, like that.
Are you
If
interested?
I can be of assistance to you, I offer my assistance.
Are you interested in learning the ways of a suture smith?
Drago is worried about the pause.
I don't particularly want to tread on your toes.
Ah.
I have no great urge to take from you. I merely offer my assistance if it would aid you.
Well, we
I
can
can
see.
fetch, I can carry, I can
That is
manipulate
most
a little of the arts.
civil of you. As I say, it is a complex ritual, and there are always moments that things can go awry.
I think Aaron's probably, kind of done things like this as an initiate of a cult of Shun the Vile.
Perfect.
I think he probably, he's had to fetch and carry for priests doing dreadful things. He's So I thought that might be something that he could probably do.
He doesn't deny you such a thing. Obviously, the honey carrots have easily brought Aaron.
I could eat those. Yeah, I could do some honeyed carrots.
So he looks at you all and says, "Is this a deal done then?"
I look around. Aaron looks at Jasmine and Drago.
Jasmine's just munching the suckling pig still. Most of the rib cage is now exposed, and
I believe we have an accord.
All right. So, quite simply, there should be 3 tablets within these ruins, about yay big. Upon them, there will be writings that you will not be able to read. These fragments of, Gelp deer contain a rite of ages, and they are what I want complete. Anything else is yours or whoever the red masks send. Do they have agents better than yourselves?
There are many, and we grow, our numbers grow. So if we are not the best, then better will be found.
It is good that you take this seriously then. So, I am afraid I have lost my appetite a little bit, and he looks at Jasmine. I will.
I don't know bleeping why. The pig is bloody good.
Oh, don't laugh. Aaron.
I'll retire and carry on with the preparations. Enjoy your food. I will try and get the answers as soon as possible.
Thank you.
With that, he stands and bows. In the meantime, I leave you in the company of my delightful family. And he walks and sort of leaves the room.
Aaron kind of looks up at the mountain of flesh next to him.
Yeah. She
Slightly like,
looks down upon you and gives you a sort of toothless smile. All the teeth have been removed. It's just basically kind of lips and gums, a little bit of slobber.
smiles nicely and kind of returns to try and eat a bit more food. Probably sensible to keep your strength up.
So,
Maybe.
Is there any conversations you want to have amongst yourselves with these creations, the family?
And we didn't do anything about Gar. That didn't come up because then we didn't need any of that.
Gar says, "I think you did good."
I realise now that we haven't broached your situation.
He shrugs. My situation is straightforward. I owe you a life debt. Getting you this introduction has hopefully settled the book somewhat. I will now travel back to the principalities and murder his sister.
That's the path you wish to take?
Well, I have gave my pledge.
Then,
This payment.
well, and thank you for helping us on our way. And should you end up, well, obviously you'll be here for a little while yet, but when you do, if you do end up back in the area, ask for the red masks, ask for us, and if we're still around, still alive, we will raise a glass with you if we can. And who knows, there may be work with the red masks if that's of interest to you at any time.
I don't like joining groups, but if you take in outsiders and pay them well.
Well,
I've not been bleeping paid yet once since I joined.
You see, that doesn't sound good to me.
It's followed by a very loud burp as the plate of suckling pig finally gets shoved back to the middle of the table.
Aaron, as you burp, Aaron winces noticeably. He's much more polite.
Now that you have pushed the pig back, you notice that some of the family start just carving quite delicately sort of slices of whatever's left, maybe some bone with some things across onto their plates. Quite civilized. They seem to have the manners of the Western principalities as well. It's kind of surreal, really.
Do they talk to each other at all? Is there any conversation between the family?
They're quite quiet, but they are having sort of conversations, really. But you get the impression they're all on their best behaviour, as if they've had practiced routines. If they're invited to the dinner table, this is how you behave. The way that, in the Western principalities, children of noble families would have been brought up by a governor or a governess and shown etiquette. All of these have been schooled in such things. Kind of really unknown in Ibihor at all. They're having bizarre, polite conversations that have little meaning, kind of. The weather has been quite inclement, have you not noticed? And yes, it's been somewhat hot. This is Ibihor. It's always scorchio in Ibihor. It's just the weather doesn't change.
Burning hellhole.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But they're having these very polite kind of small talk conversations amongst themselves. And if you engage them, they will engage back in such things. It's
all polite chit chat about the price of eggs and things, and kind of.
And if they don't know, they go, really? I was so unaware. That is very interesting.
There's a bird flu about the price of eggs has tripled. It's...
Yeah, and they take in that information, and they also seem to repeat it You know, they'll lean across
Yeah,
to
so
one
it
of the
start,
others
yeah,
and
yeah,
go,
yeah. So they start.
did you realise that you know, on the surface the price of eggs has gone through the roof, and it's very bizarre, very polite. You know, you also get that kind of sense of anxiety that at any moment any of these could probably just snap and, you know, mayhem would ensue.
Yeah, I think
How do we get out of it? Do we? Can we?
we've made a bargain.
Yes. Now, about how do we end dinner?
Think you and I kind of finishing what I'm eating, I will just kind of place my knife and fork on the plate as best in what I think is probably the right way of saying I'm done now, and sit back slightly and just kind of look to Aaron as if to kind of go, I'm doing this. If we all do this, it might work.
And Aaron, yeah, he's making sure his plate's empty, so he doesn't want to like leave food if it's. Is it polite to leave a small amount of half a potatoes? I don't know. What passes for polite around here
Yeah,
in Ed Dean's house.
I
And and so Aaron definitely wants to, whatever is his version of polite,
mean,
which is very, very polite in terms of, and he knows how to behave, because otherwise you've got sacrifice to Shun the Vile.
okay.
And so he's very, leaves everything exactly how it should be left.
Yeah, in the case
If you
of
want to stay
a
alive.
cult of Shun the Vile, which is probably very different from the principalities of the West. But we'll move things on, I think, as you all sit here uncomfortably.
Oh, Jasmine is rather comfortable. She's even let out her belt 2 notches and just
Splendid.
leaned back in the chair.
Maybe you should visit the principalities. It sounds like you'll feel at home there.
Yeah.
The food is excellent.
So, a degree of time passes and kind of a move. We're playing Shadowdark, so if everybody's finished the kind of soaking up the roleplay juice and the food of this, we will cut scenes, as it were, really. Time does pass, and you encounter again Zagilly as he comes forward, and he now has a box with the bones in, including the skull, and he shows you that he has these. This is a couple of hours on of lots of awkward small talk. He says he was forthcoming when I mentioned your names. It seems that he had a degree of respect for the Red Masks, and when I mentioned that it was they that were going to use the information. So it seems this accord that we have got has helped both of us. So here, taps the box. This is what you wanted. I now know the hidden location. I have it here. He hands across a sealed envelope. It's easy enough to see that it is wax sealed, but it is sealed with a glyph.
Is there anything we should know about conditions for opening or reading?
Speak to your mistress. Make sure she is okay and she agrees to send people to uncover the tablets. Tell her that she needs to speak those words, that the deal is to be accepted between Zagilly and the Red Masks. Then she can open this. A doom will
Very well.
fall upon those that open it without such conditions.
What have I asked? Well, I am pleased that perhaps the name of the Red Masks eased your conversation. I'm pleased we've come to an accord, and I thank you for your assistance.
I look forward to when we next meet and you present me with what I desire.
Jasmine takes the box and she's carrying 2 bags and shoves the box in one of the bags.
Okay. I suppose we should take our leave and disturb you no longer. I wonder. I don't know if it's the sort of thing you would have and would be able to part with or willing to part with, but we are for easing our path back. It would be useful to have another halfling skull, plain and mundane. I don't know if this is something you would keep. I'm sure we can find it on our road, but it was more if you had a spare to hand, so to speak.
Are you listening to the words that you are saying?
Sort of.
Do I look like the kind of person that keeps spare skulls of halflings?
Perhaps not. It was a thought, that was all. I didn't mean to cause any offence.
Right.
Well.
Would you like a guide to see you out?
Yes, please.
I think that would be very helpful, and we'd be very grateful.
He says, Salvia, put on your best face and escort them out. She looks at you and smiles and says, give me a moment. Retires from the dining room and sort of comes back with a very charming face on, looking different. She's also changed her clothes, a sort of greenish sort of top and skirt, but they are decorated with small coins that jangle, kind of like a dancing sort of dress of sorts. She smiles and says, if you are done, please follow me. And she takes a lantern. She almost looks human in this light. I mean, it's very much the
Almost
case.
bit I don't like.
Well, you know what to look for, the small telltale signs of scarring and the like, the joins where the new face has been attached, perhaps a little bit of it hanging loose because she's not applied it properly.
Sloppy.
I thought.
So, her lithe body flashes pale in the light, and she jingles with the coins on her dress, and it is easy enough to follow her bare feet as she moves through the warrens and leads you once again back to the surface. Congratulations, you are out. It takes only 15 minutes or so to move into the wet warrens and into the safety of, well, I don't know, are you heading to the sisters or are you heading back to the red masks first?
No, we need to check around the
We need to find a
bones.
skull. Yeah, we want to find.
Ones on the
literally, it's called the boneyard.
Well, what we would do is I would suggest we would bid farewell to our guide and thanks, and farewell to Gar if they're disappearing.
Gar didn't come out with
And
you. Gar was
didn't.
no.
Fine,
He's
fair
staying
enough.
there.
Then I think we would take a look at the bones in the box just to see if there are any, like, there's a crack or a rent in the skull or something. So that just in case this, I don't think this priest lady probably knows what they look like, but we would, just in case there's anything we need to find,
All right.
like, yeah. And so we would find,
You want to try and match it up, basically.
like, if it just looks like a skull, then great. But if it looks like a skull that there's a crack across the nose section or something like that, then we want to, as best we can, mimic that, just in case.
It takes you time to kind of try and find one
Yeah.
that is of the right hue, bleached, the right colour, that is aged well, and everything else. But eventually you do. This is a massive, massive pauper's grave with hundreds of thousands of bodies within it. And
So
you have an appropriate skull that matches that of Saint Lorick.
I would, with
as close as you can be made.
yeah.
Jasmine takes out St. Loric's skull, puts it in the other bag, and puts the newfound skull in the box with the bones.
Yeah.
Can I have a look at the original skull?
I love this. The three of you now. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to know which skull is which.
Oh yeah. Now Jasmine put the box back in her bag, so there's no room for confusion. There's just St. Loric's skull being passed around now.
We would be very paranoid to not get the swapped babies thing going.
I'm kind of thinking of casting a detect magic on it, but maybe not, because I don't want to roll a 1.
I feel like it's unlikely to be a magic
Yeah, because
skull.
it's used. Yeah, fair play.
Might be.
Don't know. Shall we? Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I do that? I'm going to do that.
I don't know. Do you have the
I'm
spell?
doing it. Let's see. I do have detect magic, and I need an 11 to cast it, and I've got a 12.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you cast detect magic, and remind us in Shadowdark, what does this do for you? Yeah.
Where's my bits of paper?
I mean, the great thing about Shadowdark is it should be easy to remember. The spell effects are...
easy for normal people. You can sense the presence of magic within near range for the spell's duration if you focus for 2 rounds. Oh, sorry. If you focus for 2 rounds, you discern its general properties.
Yeah, look at that.
So full barriers block this spell, and I'm kind of looking at a box of bones.
Yeah.
It's not in the box of bones. I handed it to you. It's in a bag.
It's in a bag of bones, which I'm
so
holding.
You look at it, and it's not magical.
Okay.
And sort of in the middle of this boneyard with just the three of you, there's nothing else that's magical around you either. But I mean, it's not cost you anything. You were successful in casting the spell, so that is the great thing.
I wasn't prepared to burn a luck point on that one.
No.
Unless I rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you like to do?
I think we want to head either, probably not through the weird, creepy tunnels, but out of the boneyard to, I can't remember which district the church was in or the temple was in, but the temple that we went to of St. Lorick or whoever they were.
So you want to move there first. It's a distance away.
I think so, just to close that loop and get that sorted.
Jasmine needs to collect her dog too. It's still there. Mutt
That's
is still
very true.
at the temple.
It's going to take you about 3/4 of an hour to move through the wet warrens and into the bazaar, and it's just on the outskirts of the bazaar. But you know the way. It's not trouble, but this is Shadowdark after all, and I'm going to roll a encounter dice. It's a 2. You don't come across anything you see the streets are bustling even at this time, but nothing draws your attentions, and you arrive at the shrine of Saint Terragus.
Terragnus.
Yeah. Okay, you go in and you see the priest, who is welcome. You've been in a while. I was concerned.
Thank you for your concern. We were. It was an interesting journey and took us a roundabout way, as you perhaps gleaned from our manner of returning. However, we were able to recover what was taken.
I hand her the
of-
box,
Okay. She
and I'm
takes.
keeping the bag with a skull in my backpack. So just
Yeah. She takes it and she's almost shaking. Thank you. Thank you all.
No, well, I am sorry that it happened, but I'm glad that we chanced to be on a quest or on a task that brought us able to help.
Well,
Uh,
may all the saints look over you. May you
and
be lucky in your endeavours.
then
you
Jasmine
too.
bellows very loudly. What? Where are you? What?
It comes out of the church, sort of at your call.
He gets petted.
And she goes down into the crypts and interns the bones. I think said goodbye to you, unless there's any other reason why you want to stay around here.
No, it was just wanted to close that loop and give her the reassurance so that she kind of remembers us with gratitude, as opposed to whatever happened to those guys who said they were going to help me and didn't.
And to clarify, you haven't really helped her. You gave her a false skull. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
But as far as she is
One way of
concerned,
looking at
As
it.
far as she's concerned, yeah.
the remains, there are halfling remains going back in a tomb that was there for a halfling. So,
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
it's only the skull is not Lorik. Everything else is Lorik.
Absolutely. I can't see any problems with this whatsoever. I think all is okay. Job done.
Doing what we're told, mate. We're just doing what we're told.
So yeah, I mean, she genuinely thinks that you've done the right thing, and she's very grateful.
Great.
Yeah. None
I
of
do
these,
feel slightly guilty. But
none of these saints' bones are real anyway. They you can buy fingers of saints. You can buy dozens of them.
Okay. All I'm
Probably.
hearing here is the skull that you've actually got that you're going to give to the sisters is now not real. So
we'll find out.
you will find out. What is your next move?
Back to the sisters, I think.
Yep.
So you head back to the Wet Warrens and the sisters themselves.
Oh.
You move through there, and again, nothing impedes your journey as you arrive there. And you are welcomed into the place that the head of the Sisters of Skulls calls home. And she says, "Well, you have returned, I assume, with good news."
Jasmine tosses the bag to her.
Rhaegar winces. News and what was requested? the skull of Sir Lorik as requested.
I believe your friend has dropped something.
I walk over, I pick up the bag with the skull in. Squeeze it to try and establish that it hasn't broken into pieces as it hit the ground. And
But she
then
didn't
kind of
catch it. I tossed it at her. I mean, she was supposed to catch it.
It
What's the
sounded
fingers?
like you just threw it. It didn't sound like you. If your intent was to throw it at her to catch, Jasmine, was that your intent? I might have
Yeah.
misinterpreted it. Which
If it's any help, that's how I took it. I thought she was throwing the skull too.
yeah, no, I don't have an issue with that. So you don't have to worry about that, Drago. As I'm just used to Jasmine and her general bad attitude. So she does catch it, and she sort of looks in and pulls out the skull. Splendid. Task well done. Consider us eager to make accords with the Red Masks, to join with them.
Jasmine unties the 2 gold heads from her belt and holds them up and says, I got these 2. Do you want them as well?
They are your prizes, but they are yours to do what you wish. If you wish to gift them, we will accept.
Yeah, she gives them over.
Fine prizes. You are indeed capable. Ghoul heads, no mean feat. Impressive.
Well, I'm glad that we could come to an accord. I'm glad we could help you as bring you what you needed.
Take word to the Gita. We will sit in council at the table of the Red Masks.
Thank you. We will let them know immediately. Excellent.
And with that,
Everything seems to be working.
yep.
It's all going to. Don't roll any dice.
It's me. I shouldn't roll them anyway.
Never. Just talk your way out of every situation.
Finishing up here, you, I'm assuming, head to the Red Masks now.
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anywhere else we need to go, is there, guys?
Sorry.
No, it all feels very surreal.
The only place we haven't gone, we have is our girlfriend, which we can pick up with later. He wants some cushions and lanterns and mirrors.
Yeah, you need coin and to go shopping for that, unless
Yeah, we
literally.
do. We got some things though, haven't you? You've got your new lovely suit of armor. You look very very posh and very martial.
I mean, that's very
I
good.
Drago clanks appreciatively at you. Yeah, that's another thing we need to mention to Vegeta as well. I'd forgotten about that. Good shout. Because that was the bargain for him helping us and pointing us in the direction, wasn't it? So yeah, okay. So bring allies,
Shiny
but also
stuff like
pets.
like beds and wall tapestries and flower pots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He
Oh,
didn't want any boots though.
no, they were definitely all about the home comfort.
And we have a ring, and we have an emerald ring, and a gold warhammer, and a scroll.
I got my armor and I doubled my armor class in one foul swoop, so I was happy.
Absolutely, you're definitely going in front. Push you to the front. I've got 2 people to hide behind now. That's great.
Okay.
I'm still squishy. I'm just in a shell. Cool.
So you head back. Vegeta is there, and I'm assuming you just fill her in with everything, all the information that
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah, so we would run through kind of the story of it, and in the story of it, kind of giving the the debts to be repaid, but the allies made, because we also encountered the gang leader being chased down by another couple of gang people on the way to the sisters, didn't we? So we would cover that one as well.
Yeah. You've done a substantial amount, and she pays you for all of the tasks and work that you've done. So in Shadowdark, just so you're aware, you get experience for boons and for treasure and getting, and this payment from Vegeta counts as very much like that. You each get, excuse me, a payment of 500 gold pieces, and this will equate to 5 experience points. You will also gain another 5 experience points for gaining a boon of Vegeta as she promotes you to higher levels of within the organization of the Red Masks as well. You have proven to be very reliable. So those 10 experience points. You're currently level 3, aren't you, at the moment?
We are, yes.
Yeah. So it's not enough at the moment to level you up. At the moment, you need another 20 experience points, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we had 2 extra, so we're now at 12.
12, perfect. That is absolutely fine. But you are getting there. The question is what would you like to do next? You can obviously rest up. Some of the items that you've got, if you want to sell them, you can sell them to add to your experience points as well. Technically, you don't need to sell them. You just need to tell me what they are, and I can assign the experience and gold worth to them. But if you do wish to trade them for coin, so you can spend the coin on other things, you will need to sell them.
Yeah. I have the pair of expensive boots and the Warhammer in my backpack.
Okay, the Warhammer is the gold Warhammer, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Worth
said it
it.
was 40 gold?
Yeah. So you can easily sell this. We're not going to do a massive downtime of selling stuff. So the Warhammer will count as 1 additional experience point for everybody. So that puts you on 13, and another 40 gold. Which are you splitting that amongst everybody, Jasmine?
She gives a bit of a sigh and goes, what the bloody hell, why not?
Okay, so we'll call it 14, 14 to each of you. You get a bit of a deal for it.
And there's the emerald ring to sell as well.
Yeah, the emerald ring is actually worth a lot more. It's a good find. You're going to get another 300 gold pieces for that, and that equates to another 3 experience points each. So that now puts you on 15 experience points, yeah?
16?
16 then.
16, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm on 14 then, so I'm on 2 less.
Okay.
So
And it's 100 gold pieces each for the
That's
ring.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Blimey.
So
never been to the Ridge.
it's been quite a while. You've done quite a lot, really. And whilst you've not been accruing very much treasure, you have been well rewarded by Vegeta for your actions. You have done much realistically.
I think seeing all the selling of all the other stuff that we found, Traeger would just kind of take a moment and say to his companions, I realize things we find have are sort of a communal thing, but if it's okay, I'd quite like to keep, and just knocks on the plate armor. If the consensus is I should sell it, I will, but it's quite useful from my perspective if that's
You look
okay.
very smart in it.
Well, thanks. It's more a case of I didn't want to. If we've sold the other things and split the profits, it feels rude to do that without a conversation, at least.
Likewise, I have this scroll.
Well, I can't do anything with it. Well, I probably could, but I'm not interested in doing anything with it. So
I could try and learn it.
well, it makes sense for you to take it and
Well,
keep
you
it.
said you were going to learn it at a higher level because otherwise you would have to roll.
I think you have to roll and learning spells. You can permanently learn a wizard spell from a spell scroll by studying it for a day and succeeding on a DC 15
That's correct.
intelligence check. So it's not easy.
And it's straight. It doesn't matter what level of spell that is. It's just the way that it is. And then once you have learnt it, you need to be able to cast it. You can only cast certain spells of a certain tier at certain, levels.
And it's acid arrow. It's tier 2 spell, and I can cast tier 2.
So it would just be added to your spell book then, and you could cast it should you choose to. But you will need to make that roll.
Are we? Okay.
It's another thing to go in your arsenal. To my mind, it makes sense to make the attempt, and if it doesn't work, then okay.
Oh, we have luck points.
We do have luck points.
We do have luck points, all of us.
Yeah.
So we could do this, and then we could just become very tired, and then have to end.
We just finished the session because you just
we just won't take any risks. Yeah, but no, I think it makes sense to get it.
Okay, so I'll roll a d20 then. So
okay, give me a little bit of narrative here, Aaron. How are you going around?
Oh well, Aaron's going to have to squirrel himself away in the Red Brands, because I'm sure we've got some rooms in the Red Brands where we can
Red Masks.
Red Mask. Sorry. Red Masks where we can a bit of privacy.
The Red Brands go, who are you? Get out of our gaff and get back to your own.
I wish I didn't do this every week, but I do. And so the Red Masks, so I'm going to go back there. I'm going to spend a bit of cash on ritual ablutions.
Okay.
And purify myself before attempting to learn this spell. I'm going to go and buy some oils and anoint myself and purge myself for a day. I'm going to not eat for a day in preparation, and only drink water. And so I'm going to go through some ritual kind of preparations, so that my body and mind are free and clear, that I might be able to concentrate.
How much are you spending on these oils?
Oh, I don't know. We've got so much bloody gold now. I don't know what to do with it. Are we going to?
Of course, we're going to go shopping.
We've got to go out, haven't we?
It's up to you. If you want to carouse, you can certainly carouse.
Well, I believe that we're supposed to carouse. I don't know how Aaron carouses. He probably goes to the library.
Well, no, you spend your gold, get drunk, and you end up somewhere, basically. You might go out with the idea, I'm going to the library.
That's where Aaron's going. He's going to the library when he's... Okay, so if I mean, 50 gold seems like quite a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I love your description. You're going to burn 50 gold on doing something that technically you don't need to do.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm going to give you, it's lovely, I'm going to give you advantage on your dice roll because of all of that beautiful narrative.
I'm going to knock 50 gold off, which I've now done.
Mhm.
Easy come, easy go.
Absolutely. And
and,
just to clarify, because you've done all of this, you'll have advantage on this roll, but not on any luck points that you spend, unfortunately.
Okie dokie.
But you don't need those luck points. That advantage, that 50 gold,
Woo.
the spending the day kind of purifying yourself means you do manage to translate it into your book.
sweet.
Congratulations.
Excellent. What was the spell again?
It's acid arrow. So
Oh, nice. A ranged attack. Good. Nice.
So does upgrades to gear exist in Shadowdark, like leather armor +1?
They do, but you can't purchase them.
You have to find them.
You have to
we've got to
go.
find those treasure hoards. That Shadowdark, you've got to roll on those. Which is why I was, getting
Carousing it is then.
Yeah.
carousing.
What is really nice is that you are. If you want such things, you have to go out and you have to find these ancient places and ruins to explore and put yourself into danger. And the more dangerous they are, the greater chance of you uncovering great artifacts of power that can help you. So
I kind of get the idea that after a day of fasting and then lots of chanting of ritual prayers in very strange languages and strange noises coming out of Aaron's room and water going in kind of thing, and then it eventually emerges exhausted and tired, and I get the idea you need a drink, Aaron.
very nice.
And you're probably going to drag him out by his ears and
Okay, so we will do some carousing then. I have to say I genuinely enjoy this aspect. It's almost like a mini game in a game. So we're going to use the carousing in the Wet Warrens table. This is the one that myself and Matt developed, so it's an extended one from the Shadowdark rules. So you can choose an amount of coin that you want to spend, and that gives you a roll on different tables. The tiers of breakdown is you can each spend 30 gold, 100 gold, 300 gold, 600 gold, 900 gold. There are higher tiers as well, but I'm not quite sure you want to go beyond 900. I'm not sure you have beyond 900.
I don't have 600 anymore.
Yeah, 600 for me.
The more you spend, the more guaranteed higher experience points you'll get. But things might not go your way. You can get bad things happen to you as well, but you're always guaranteed to get experience points. So
Drago just cradles his Roger tattoo.
Jasmine, talk as a group, because it's best that you all roll off the same table. How much do you want to spend on your night out of debauchery?
If I spend 600, I still have 477 gold.
Nice.
So I'm good with 600.
Holy cow, you're rich.
Jeez.
You are loaded.
I have no gear to spend it on, so just
No,
carousing.
This is why carousing is so much fun, because you can't buy magic items. Well, sort of traditionally, you can't buy magic items in the game, so you literally, it's that classic. You go, you adventure, you gain wealth, and then you just blow it all on debauchery, basically. And
Aaron's never done this. Aaron has never ever done this. He does not really know what goes on in bars and things. He's very.
Jasmine throws a wiry arm around Aaron's shoulders and go, "Come on, friend, let's have some fun."
Poor little Aaron, who's been awake for 24 hours purging his eyes are wide with horror and fear. But he does have a purse of monies on him.
So is that 600 for everybody, or are we doing the
I've only
300?
got 564.
I'll lend you 100.
Jesus Christ.
The Bank of Jasmine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drago,
Yes,
peer
mate.
pressure is on you now too.
100 gold.
It's easy.
I mean,
No.
I'm in a similar situation to Jasmine because if I do 600, I've still got over 350 left. So
what's the problem?
Come on.
Indeed.
like real world Beamsy is being like, no. That's not a thing.
What
Guilt.
else do you want to do with it? Like pull it together and buy a house in the fancy end of town?
We
I
could probably give
mean-
some of it to the poor, I expect.
So
Yeah, go on then. 600. Why not? What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Oh, it could be quite bad, I think. You wrote the tables.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
How bad can it be?
I
That-
remember last time Thorsten actually spent more gold in carousing than me and Matt did. So he actually got a nicer reward. I think he won the lottery or something, and he got most of his money back.
Yeah, I mean it is doable.
That's brilliant.
So just to clarify, if you get the same, we're re-rolling, yeah, rather than everybody rolling. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
so Jasmine, this is a D12 roll on table D.
A 4.
You got. How did I get here? You get.
Again?
Yeah, you get 3 experience points. It seems that you constantly drink and end up in the strangest of places. What's interesting, and we will have to revisit this again in a minute, is that you are in a coffin and you have been buried alive. You sort of come into consciousness and you can't move. There's only a finite amount of time that your hopefully companions will be able to.
Matt will save me.
Well, we will see. But you do get 3 experience points, and I suppose neither of you two will get the buried alive one. So we move to Aaron.
A D12.
D12, please.
Oops, I'd roll 2. Sorry, scrub that. Scrub. Sorry. I double clicked it by accident.
That's okay. We let you roll again. So that is a 6. Oh. Yeah, out. It's completely the reverse of Jasmine. You gain 3 experience points and you kind of roll over and something sharp is in one of your pockets and digs into your leg. As you kind of reach into it, you draw out a dice. It looks normal, but you can tell it's got a weight to it. It is weighted. You've got yourself a loaded dice. But with this dice comes a luck token.
Oh,
So
Nice.
you've got yourself a luck token as well.
but I can only have one look.
Not whilst you have this loaded dice,
Oh.
you can have up to 2 luck tokens.
2 luck tokens.
But you need to gain them. You can have up to 2 luck tokens. Currently,
Right.
you
Yeah.
have 2 luck tokens because this is a treasure that allows that to happen.
That's awesome.
As you look at this and imagine how lucky you've been, you kind of wonder where on earth Jasmine is. You can remember her speaking to a strange group of people. We have lost Aaron. He'll be back in a minute. Then we move to Drago. D12, please. 6, we have already had that.
I will roll again.
A 10. Poor Drago. You get into a gambling competition and they say 3 6s.
Figures.
Easy roll, that. Easy roll. As you gain a debt, because rolling 3 6s is not easy at all. You do gain 3 experience points, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here, Drago. I'm going to ask you to roll 3 6s, and if you roll 3 6-sided dice, and if you get 3 6s, I will let you off the gambling losses of 1d4 times 100. If you don't get the 3 6s, then you
Yeah.
have lost
He
a
Cool.
pile
doesn't
of
have
money.
one.
So what you're saying is, when I roll 3d6s, after I've rolled 3d6s, then roll a d4.
No, you can
Cool.
roll 3d6s once, just to
Yeah, yeah,
clarify.
and then.
If you get 3, no, we've got one.
So now I roll a d4.
That's right, yeah. Oh, you got the highest. Well
400.
The
done.
one time I don't want
Well
to do
done.
it.
You maxed out there. That is 400 gold.
Great.
Now it's gambling losses. It doesn't mean that you don't lose the money from your pocket at the moment, but you have a debt now of 400 gold to somebody. I guess we perhaps best determine who that somebody is. And it comes to your mind that Jasmine's got a ton of money. Maybe where is Jasmine? You've not seen her in a while.
Ring.
So what I am trying to do here is call up ups the table of ne'er-do-wells in the wet. Okay.
I bet it's going to be that toad guy again.
It could well be. Boom, boom, but here we go. Boom, boom. No. Yeah, here we go. Here. So roll a d20 and let us see which one of the scoundrels of the wet that you owe this money to. Number 4. Yeah, you owe this 400 gold to Messana, also known as the She-Leopard. She's known for her cat burglary and second story work.
Okay.
And you kind of know that if you do not pay it in timely manner, she will have a pound of flesh.
Well, I'd pay like half of it up front because I can, and promise to have the remaining half to her as soon as possible.
She happily accepts that.
So cool. Yeah, I had loads of money left over. I can spend 600. Oh.
Easy come, easy go. All it means is you need to find some more coin. You still have your plate mail.
I do.
So the following day, bleary-eyed, Jasmine said that she'd look after you. Aaron, Jasmine's disappeared. Drago, you could really do with visiting the bank of Jasmine for another one of those friendly loans. The two of you kind of meet up hungover, remembering what had possibly happened that night.
Aaron is so hungover that he is physically blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a
It's okay.
ghost of my side. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I do apologise.
It's
all
okay.
good.
It is okay.
I do anything now. You don't know what I'm doing.
No, we can
Get
still see
undressed.
you. Please,
Oh.
don't.
Sorry.
Okay, so you two meet up together, but there is no sign of Jasmine. You could have swore you were going to rendezvous. You were going to do something. He's gone again.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. If
All right.
you've got audio, we can still have the discussion.
When did you last see her?
He comes into
Ah,
focus.
there you are.
Oh, what? Hey. Aaron puts his glasses.
It's
Oh, no, I've frozen again.
all good.
What? I haven't seen her. I don't know. Bed. I was in bed.
Okay.
I
Is Mutt around?
Yeah, strangely, Mutt is kind of you keep sort of pushing Mutt away as it's kind of trying to bite at your trousers and drag you somewhere, but it's just we can't find Jasmine. Just
where's Jasmine, Mutt? Is he a tracking dog?
he's a mangy dog.
He's a street man.
I will. Mutt, where's Jasmine?
Okay, he barks at you.
Oh, how
Find
you
her.
wish you'd take speaking with animals.
I have nothing that would help. Which is
I kind of give Matt all of my attention, and if he was trying to pull up my leg to see if that give him the rein to do that, and then lead on if he wants to lead on.
Yeah, he kind of leads you on to move through the wet warrens to a relatively familiar location, a butcher's shop, and he stands there and sticks his tongue out and looking at the sausages that have been made.
she been made into sausages?
I don't think that he's a tracking dog.
What?
He was just hungry.
All right. Let's retrace steps.
Yeah, we would start to
Jasmine-
retrace it and then ask people.
Jasmine took me to a bar. It
Okay.
was very loud.
Well,
There were
then
many-
we'll go. Let's go there first.
It was the Cross Keys. It
wasn't really the cross keys, it was the very angry keys.
That's terrible. Very funny. You brought me, corpse. The keys. But they were singing. There were people. Some of the songs they sang.
Yes, terrible, I'm sure. Or brilliant, I'm not sure. Jasmine, focus on Jasmine. When did you last see them?
We were. I didn't know they had so many different beers. There was at least 5.
Back to Jasmine. Where's Jasmine? We need to find.
She worked across the bar. I mean, admittedly, she was drinking 2. Everyone I had, but maybe 3. And then there was a game. We were playing dice. Then the dog was there. Mutt was there, and then there was the fight. There was a fight, and Jasmine was having a whale of a time, and I hid in the cupboard and behind the bar, and then it all eventually there was glass smashing, and it was an absolute disaster. But fortunately, I managed to keep my head down in the cupboard and just peer, and then it eventually all went quiet, and I came out, and I was coming out, and they were leading her off down the outside. They were dragging her off. I think, and she was they were just dragging her down. So we get to the Cross Keys, and we'll find the road from that they were dragging her down.
Okay, then lead on.
I
So,
don't know where I am.
mhm. So
I don't know my way around.
you stumble around, go to the cross keys, and go down the alleyway there, and you
Cross keys on broken window.
yeah, it's kind of half burnt, sort of broken down, and you slowly try and piece things together, bit by bit. It's going to take you another half a day, really, as the sun is beating down upon you in these busy streets, and you're all dehydrated from the night before. But
I feel
you,
strangely thirsty. I've never felt such a thirst.
Jasmine first, drinking later.
Oh.
you,
So down. I think he was down here into this, up these alleyways, and I tried to follow, but my legs wouldn't work properly.
you
And,
eventually see it. There's a strange sort of tree with large branches, known as the Tree of Woe. This is where they pin people up that have breached the etiquettes of the wet warrens. The tree itself is full of large iron nails where people have been attached to. Um, you can see there are bones in the tree as well, and there are a large number of rather plump vultures that are perched there, kind of suspiciously eyeing up. You're also aware that this is a sort of shrine of sorts, and they bury people within the roots to keep the tree fertilized. They normally bury living people because they decompose so much slower.
Are there any signs of fresh movement in the earth around the roots?
Oh, absolutely. There's about 3 of them.
I've got a half-baked idea. Spells. This is not
Well,
gonna work.
Consider your half-baked idea. In the meantime, I'm going to go to the 3 disturbed pieces of earth and shout, Jasmine!
Jasmine, you are almost passing out, almost hallucinating now. You too were drinking heavily last night and very dehydrated and hungover, and from the ether you can hear this voice whisper your name, or rather shout your name, but at a distance.
What the bleeping hell are you waiting for? Bleep, 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 bleep.
A voice on the ether, sounding very much like Jasmine, echoes from the ground.
Listen at one of the graves.
Start digging straight. As soon as I hear it, as soon as I know where it's coming from, I start digging.
Right? I'm pitching with you in help.
Yeah, I just thought that you was just laying down. I'm just going to listen at one of these graves as you kind of.
Well, I didn't know that we knew that we could tell which one it was coming out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I do like the imagery of you lying down though, and
lying down on somebody else's grave.
Yeah, I'm just going to close my eyes for a few minutes. But no, you both, and it's not deeply dug. It's relatively straightforward as you get this casket. It is nailed shut with large metal sort of spikes that second as this, so you're going to have to get it open. But there are holes in the wood, and you can definitely hear Jasmine shouting out now.
Okay, yeah, we get the point. And yes, give us a minute. And I will, if I can, with a sort of a combination of wedging dagger under the lid and then hitting with staff to get some leverage, would try and, as best part is easy enough, lever it out without causing any damage internally.
Yeah, it's not a difficult task. It's going to take a bit of time, and you haven't got the right tools, so it's a little.
Aaron goes for his dagger, but just an empty space where it used to be because
Yeah.
he gave it to Gar.
Yeah.
So I use an iron spike.
Yeah. You eventually get this lid off, and you reveal Jasmine. What do you look like, Jasmine?
Disheveled,
Should have seen the other guy.
hungover, beaten, battered, one eye closed shut from, a punch on the face, a bleeding lip, whatever. But yeah, just very, very angry.
Aaron, she's alive! Aaron, and then quick composure back.
So
I will, more for the flavor of the moment than because actual wounds and healing and stuff is required, I will cast or attempt to cast Cure Wounds in that moment to
perfect.
alleviate some of the discomfort and black eye and such.
Let's see how well you are rewarded for your role playing, casting a spell that you don't need to, and then suddenly rolling the one and having to do a penance. Give us a roll. I will give advantage on this
Fine.
roll. I'll give you an advantage. Let us see if the dice really are
Here we
gonna
go. Here we
punish
go.
you
We've been waiting all night.
for snake eyes. No, you're
An
fine.
18.
Are you?
So it's an 18 for a 20.
You cast the
So
spell.
yeah.
Nice bit of flavour.
Yeah,
And
so.
doing your best to restore some of the wounds that you have taken.
Just kind of in that moment of the gasp of the sudden shock of the magic and hopefully the healing and hopefully a moment of silence from Jasmine, I will say, I know you're not okay, but also, are you okay?
Yeah, you actually need to roll for the number of hit points because Jasmine is actually on 6 health.
Oh, right. So, yeah, Jasmine has taken some wounds, so you can roll to see.
And I will roll.
It sounds very much like it's not just.
Hmm.
It's going to be a.
Number of d6s to 1 plus half your level rounded down. So half of 3 rounded down is 1. So I roll 2 d6s. You get
Oh, nice.
10 hit points back.
Solid.
Wow.
I only needed 6.
Well, have 4 that you don't need. Because I'm so generous.
Either that or you just stab her now.
That probably means your hangover's cured as well.
No. It doesn't remove any kind of poison.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
You're gonna suffer with this. Okay. So shenanigans over, the fun of carousing put behind you almost. It seems that Drago still owes 200 gold pieces to the she-leopard.
If you ask me, I can lend them to you.
I awkwardly ask to borrow 100 gold pieces because I can do 100 and then that will leave me with 50 of my own to spare just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So
Thank you, kindly.
your debt paid off. But after all of your tasks done for the red masks, the money gained, most of you are now a little light in the purse, and your mind once again turns to how you can gain more coin. Very much depends what you wish to do next. Whilst there are some fairly obvious movements to make, you have gave no doubt Vegeta the letter and told her all of the instructions before she opens it. It is, as you sit around in this, underneath this tree of woe, the shadow of it, giving you a little relief from the sun. All of you covered in the dust and the sand from the grave that you've just dug up. Surely life can't get any better than this. Nursing your hangovers. What do you wish to do next?
We should take the letter to Vegeta.
We gave it to her.
Oh, sorry. Did we?
Yeah, no, yeah. With the whole unfolding of all of the things, we would have handed that over and said all the rules. And
Did she read it?
I don't know if we know that. I don't know if she would have. I feel like she would have taken it and then considered, and then
On my head.
that would be her choice.
Let's get another bleeping beer. And more bleeping food. I'm starving.
Well, food would be nice. I haven't eaten for 2 days.
Then okay, let's get some food and then see what we do next. Maybe it's go and see what the boss has for us, if anything, and if not, then we can look around for other jobs.
Well, we can go to that temple thingy, right?
We could buy a nice chandelier for our ghoul friend.
What temple thing? Sorry, I'm trying to work out what you mean.
Oh, from the bloody skull of Saint Bloody Lorik.
I think
You know, the tablets?
Oh, that yes. Well, yeah. Assuming that Vegeta's read the letter and wants to do that, but we have to go and we'd have to check in with her first.
Okay.
So let's get a drink and something to eat, and then go and see what the situation is, and if we're heading out to the Temple of Lost. What's it?
what's it? Ah, dear. It is the Temple of Galp.
Yes, I have written it down. I was being
I bet you have
flippant.
not spelt it the same way as I have spelt it.
I have spelled it GELPDEER.
It's actually GAALP apostrophe DHRE.
Okay.
D-H.
GAALP apostrophe DHRE.
Gulp tray.
Or Galp Duh, as he pronounced it.
Gulp
But it could be Dre.
Okay.
Who
Doctor.
knows a strange, twisted language of time long gone.
Mhm.
So you eat, you drink, and you head back to Vegeta.
Oh,
You are welcomed in, and Vegeta says, "Well, you look worse for wear. How is it when I send you on a job, you come back looking bright and keen, and then when you go out for celebrations afterwards, you look far worse?"
I just point at Jasmine.
Well, yeah, but just bloody drinking, that's all.
So, interesting. You have brought this to our door, and I mean, we are thieves after all, and the original Red Masks weren't just about sort of stealing riches. They were about exploration of the undercity that lies beneath us and these other lost places as well. So, in many ways, this does sit perfectly with what we should be doing. It is exciting, and I have taken on the words that were spoken and opened this. She shows you the map, and the map is of a range of mountains that lie not far from Ibihor. Probably if you were riding by camel or horse, maybe a day or so. If you were walking, probably 2-3 days, depending on how the journey goes. But it does take you out into what would be considered the uncharted desert, the less trod sort of pathways and roads that crisscross from Ibihor to other city-states of the Shining Kingdoms. I would very much like to send some of our people to explore what has gone on there and to retrieve its riches, even if it costs the price of these tablets for whatever magics this zombie master wishes to do. I think it is a chance well taking, but I need to send my best people, those that have individual skills, are capable.
Jasmine starts looking around for an empty table and walks away and sits down.
I mean, you
Ooh.
have proven yourself over and over again. It will be dangerous, and if you do not wish to accept, I understand. You will be going into unknown territories. Who knows what lurks within this set of ruins that existed before even Ibihor did. Who knows what horrors lurk there or great treasures. But you are the group that brought an end to the Tallow Man.
And we did.
Admittedly, we lost some
You
good
did?
people.
Well, I, for one, would be willing to go.
Yeah.
All eyes turned to Aaron.
All right.
Splendid. Well, I think there is little time to waste. You've had a couple of days of resting, and whilst we have made alliances with the Sisters of Skulls, who knows what magics they've worked. Speaking with skulls and is kind of what they do. Whilst I do not think they are likely to cross us, we haven't as yet sort of spoken about they shouldn't go to this place. So, I mean, we can afford transport for you. Sorry, Aaron, you have a question.
I was just, if they're speaking to the skull, then would they have to know that this place exists to ask it?
Indeed, indeed. They have their talents. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but supposedly they can eke out secrets from the skulls they carry. I'm not particularly saying that they will be a threat or a challenge to us, but it is always best to keep our eyes behind us as well as in front.
Very wise.
Now we can equip you with transport should you wish, or if you prefer your own legs to take you. It means you have less to look after. We don't know the extent of these ruins or how long it's going to take for you to uncover these tablets or whatever else secrets you can pry from it. So I would certainly prepare for a good amount of time.
I think if you are able to provide it or support with transport, that's probably useful.
Would you prefer horses or camels?
A cart.
A cart will not work in the desert.
Whichever can carry more supplies.
You can have a pack animal as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Extra torches and rations and stuff. And for the way back, hopefully treasure.
And camel, I suppose, for the terrain.
Camels survive better, don't they? I hear.
They do. So we will say a camel each and 2 spare. We'll make it 3 spare to be able to carry supplies for you, and if anything befalls one of your animals, then you have a spare. How does that sound? 6 camel?
Yeah.
That will be fantastic.
Splendid. How long will you need to gather any gear or supplies?
Day?
Okay.
I think if we, like at this, when this conversation is going on, what time are we at of day?
I mean, it's still morning. This is the morning after you recovered. You spent an hour or so trying to find Jasmine.
Yeah.
Then
I would say we'd look to leave tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. So with all of that, then the camels are supplied. You're going to have to, pay for your own gear. We'll say a camel will have 12 gear slots. So that's if you want to pile extra stuff on the 3 spare camels, you can go up to 12 gear slots per camel. So that is 36 gear slots. So that's
it's 3 rations per gear slot and 1 torch per gear slot.
Water.
Water is important unless some of you have a way of finding or creating water.
Nope, no one's looking at me.
Okay.
Does water count as rations? Is it part of a ration?
I think so. There's not separate water.
Yeah, we like to keep things smooth here, so I'm more than happy to say
the rations contain enough water for the day.
Yes, absolutely.
How many days?
You think on camel with the map that you've been given to the secret entrance, it's going to take you a full day to get there, bearing any kind of complications that is.
And how many days are we? So it's a day there and a day back.
Yep.
And how many days are we going to spend in there?
Well, the standard is to perhaps do a recon first, and then if you have to go back and resupply, you have to go back and resupply. So base it on that, because otherwise you're working on the unknown. And you
take two gear slots of rations then, and then we've got 1 gear slot is 3 days rations. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we all take two gear slots, if we each take 2 gear slots, then we've got
4 days of exploration.
Yeah.
4 days. Is that enough?
So
think so.
basically, just load the camels full of torches. Since the torches only last 1 hour.
That sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
And yeah, and like torches, but also maybe lanterns and things like that might be useful.
Lantern.
Yeah.
Particularly because we want like for campfire as well. Because is it 3 torches for a campfire?
3 torches for a campfire. That'll get you
Yeah.
8-hour rest.
Yeah.
It provide all the light for that time as well. So you use 3 torches, and instead of 3 hours, you get 8 hours of light and heat.
Yeah, and
2
just because
rations
that's
and 10
going to be
torches each.
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, I accidentally overspot. But is it 2 rations and 10 torches each? Or is that insane? That seems a lot. But then again, they only last an hour. And if we're there for a couple of days, you're looking at maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 torches.
I mean, 10 torches is like a full day of crawl if you were doing like a full 8 hours, allowing for the thing that happens that makes you drop your torch or that your torch goes out for whatever reason and things like that. So 10 torches to cover a full day is potentially cutting it slim, particularly the way I roll dice.
Yeah.
Well, you each got light as well, so maybe we will not.
Yeah, this is true. So,
But better to have extra torches that we don't need than.
Yeah.
So just take 36 torches on the camels
Plus food.
and carry our own rations.
I can't carry my. Oh no, I can because I've got other bits. Oh god.
So it sounds very much the thing that you are most interested in is either rations or torches. So we can hammer out the fine details of this as we move forward. So
I'm actually geared up. I've got rations. I've got 3 rations on me.
Yeah.
And I'm actually carrying 3 torches.
Perfect.
I should.
Buy myself a new dagger.
I was about to say you should probably buy yourself a new dagger.
Okay, you can grab yourself a dagger, no problem there. Obviously, a dagger coming in at 1 gold piece. Absolutely not a problem at all. So you've quite simply put together what you need, which is fundamentally enough rations to get there and get back and to survive however long that you decide you want to spend into the ruins. You can do hopefully an investigation of it and a retreat if you need to make a better crawl of it once you know what you are facing. It seems
my
that
camel's got two rations and 10 torches.
Yeah, perfect.
I also carry a set of rations.
Absolutely.
And 2 torches.
Perfect.
So
yeah. With your camels equipped, it looks very much like you are going on a task as you begin to say your goodbyes to Vegeta. For the first time in this entire campaign, you leave the walls of Ibihor behind and begin to go into the dry wastes of the surrounding deserts, heading where no one has really trod before, for perhaps the legends that only death awaits those that do is waiting for you too. And that is where we will leave tonight's session. Thank you very much, everybody. It was great to sort of complete the skull of Lorik, and you found the reason why you wanted it, to find out the secrets, and it seems that your agendas have crossed now, and you found double employ in the fact that doing this task for the red masks also is going to do it for the zombie master. What lies upon these fragments of tablets, what awaits you in these ruins, we will find out in our next episode, or, well, if you survive the hazardous journey until you get to the ruins, that is. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Really enjoyable session. I love the carousing mechanics and just the concept that you earn all of this coin and then you just blow it in a night and then have to go and do more jobs. And yeah, I really love the fact you can't really improve your gear. You have to go out and search it or locate it, or perhaps even try and find someone who is a master craftsperson that can create these items beyond what is normal endeavors.
Yep, I love that part of it. I love that you just can't go and buy.
Yeah. It gives you motivation to go and do things. Also, I know that we are kind of running late tonight again, so we'll just have a quick round table as always. Did any bits stand out to you? I know it was quite a role play orientated one this time, but for me there was some moments that were unexpected that I really enjoyed. So we start off with Natasha.
Yeah, the tables for carousing, they're amazing. I mean, you wake up in a coffin, buried. After a night out on the town, it's like, oh shit.
How did I get here? Oh.
No.
What is my life?
And then Mutt being an ordinary dog, he's not magical, he's not Lassie. He just wants to be fed and goes to the butcher's. Amazing.
It's just like, yeah, I'm a dog. Feed me. Are you taking Mutt with you, by the way, or are you leaving him?
Since he was very reluctant to go into the sewers, I think I'm leaving him with the red masks.
Perfect. Okay, just so we know for the future. Dave, any moments that tickled you?
I love the carousing bit and putting me on the spot for where's Jasmine? I don't bloody know. Just like was great fun.
Yeah,
and I quite like playing a little coward.
Yeah, no,
well, he's not a coward, but he's not brave. He's not courageous, and I really like playing as someone who's hiding behind these hulking, armed warriors, as Aaron sees them. I mean, he's wearing armor. Drago's definitely a great warrior now.
Yeah, with
I like that.
The metal skin.
Yeah.
Matt, anything that stood out for you?
It's the very, very awkward dinner party, and I was like, I really wanted to talk to people, but I know that Drago in like socially awkward anyway, Ben in that situation and paranoid about what he's just signed up to, and signed everybody up to. So it was just kind of this very, very weird host of characters and a very weird dinner party that we were very quiet at.
Yeah.
You negotiated that really well. I really enjoyed you doing that.
Jasmine wasn't quiet. She just didn't say much.
Yes.
And I mean, I loved it. If it couldn't be any more awkward, Jasmine just taking the entire, and this was a massive, it wasn't just like a little bit of pork, it just dragged the entire meat and started eating it. Whereas all of these creatures that you probably viewed as abominations and monsters were sitting there very politely with their knife and fork.
They are still abominations and monsters.
Waiting their turn. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you all at my table. Thank you very much for bringing to a sort of end to that sort of story arc as such. But when you eventually reach the ruins, we're going to be doing some probably proper crawling for a while as you explore the horrors that perhaps wait for you there, or perhaps it's deserted, desolate, lain untouched for eons. Uh, we'll find out on the next few sessions. Can't say the next one because who knows? You need to get there first. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. If you have got to this point, if you get a chance, please give us a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. And I think and this is getting even more appropriate as we're about to descend into the darkness of the ruins. But Natasha, a catchphrase, please.
Bleeping, keep those bleeping torches bleeping lit.
Thank you very much, and it's
Bleeping.
goodbye from me, and hopefully goodbye from everybody else. Take care, stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
See you
See
all
ya.
soon. Bye.